Playing too aggressive and losing man advantage because you died is one of the most common mistakes in Rainbow Six. If you want to know how to fix that, keep watching the video. I've got 10 mistakes you need to fix in order to rank up in Rainbow Six Siege. Starting off with number 1, you don't know when to play aggressive and when to play passive. As a general rule, if you're in man advantage, you should play passive. If you choose to play aggressive and you die, you're gonna lose the man advantage and potentially even lose the round. If you have man disadvantage, you should play more aggressive, so that you get the chance to even out the man count. But for attack, it is kinda harder to explain, because you always need to have a certain level of aggressivity, because you need to get to side. If you play too aggressive in a man advantage, you are simply trolling. Just communicate with your teammates, see how far up to side they already are, and then pace yourself based off that. My second tip is basic positioning. It can get very advanced if you already know the basics. But the very simple basic positioning consists of not standing in front of doorways to know when to crouch, when to stand, but it gets very advanced if you get to know map specific positioning. In order to show you an example, I'm gonna quickly load up Siege. Now that I am in Siege, I have set up a super basic defense setup on the Oregon basement. Furthermore, about this setup, there's gonna be a future video about it, but for the basic positioning, it pretty much comes down to, do you know where the enemies attack from? If you know the enemies are gonna attack from the blue side, you're obviously gonna play in the blue elbow area here, contesting the entry from the blue door. If you know they're coming from a front freezer side, you just simply sit in either mirror box or on the laundry box, and you're able to contest into laundry and into freezer. You can also play in deep freezer, especially if it's still early in the round, shoot some camps and fall back, or you can take your shotgun and play close up to the stairs, as long as the obviously reinforced hatch is still closed. If you know it's a tower push, you can simply play in the hallway right here on the double door and play for the stair walk down, or you can play on the pillar, having a little dance with them, or if you're an operator like Jäger or Overmire, you can simply just play here in the jack position and you'll have a way better time contesting the tower stairs than you would from the long angles. This basically is already all you need for positioning, especially at the beginning. You just need to know where to play. I almost recommend to all new players, play on side and get to know the game. And don't be afraid of actually holding down the side from the enemy's entry points, like I said with the freezer and laundry. My third tip is something that I've already started talking about, and it is to be confident. Have the confidence to swing enemies. Especially in the TDM meta that we have right now, it is swing or be swung. If you know where an enemy is and he's already somewhat back down into a corner, there is nothing holding you back from swinging, especially if you have a 1.5 on your scope and this guy doesn't have shit on you. But there's not only confidence for swinging people, there's also confidence for holding angles and playing a certain position. So don't play chicken on side and actually have the confidence in yourself that you are the better player. My fourth point is be like water, and what I mean by that is you need to be able to adapt to the enemy strats, and you cannot be a textbook player. It just simply doesn't work anymore. Having strats is good, especially for the early games so that everyone's on the same page, but getting the exact scenario that you are planned for is basically impossible. Especially in the current meta, being a textbook player just simply doesn't work anymore. If you're focusing about opening a wall or clearing an ADS or a shield, instead of just swinging an enemy you have life info on, is actually a disservice to your team, because you could just simply take the gunfight and win the round. It is more important that you get kills in this current meta than it is to use your utility, because getting kills wins you the round just as much as getting the bomb down and playing for the objective. And never ever before have there been as little plans as right now in the current meta in the history of the game. Point number 5 is something I have been saying for such a long time already, and it is start re-aiming at head level. You don't need to have great aim if you have good head level aim, as you're already on the enemy's head's level when you're swinging into a room, and all you need to do is click left mouse button. If you want to practice your head level aim, you can simply head into the shooting range, as you see right now here in the video, and simply by doing that, you're already gonna notice that you're gonna get so many more kills. As we're already talking about the shooting range, point number 6 is to warm up properly. But there's multiple ways of warming up than just playing the game or playing aim labs or the shooting range. It's also getting enough sleep, drinking your daily dose of energy and consuming caffeine, or eating food before you play. All of these factors simply impact your performance. And if you don't have a warm-up routine, I've uploaded the warm-up routine not too long ago here on YouTube. You can simply just copy that. I myself too used that warm-up routine before I head into competitive matches or ranked. But just so you get a simple idea of what warming up is, just hop into a arcade game or deathmatch free for all, head into the shooting range, play aim lab or Kovacs. whatever it takes for you to be comfortable enough to say, oh yeah, I can easily hit heads now, I can easily 1v5 everyone. But as a general rule, you never want to be right into ranked if you're not warmed up properly. Don't forget, we're in such a TDM heavy meta that if you take a 1.5, you're confident and warm up, you're simply getting those kills, and simply it will greatly impact your overall wins this season. So you get the idea. Number 7 is you are too horny for kills. Now, I have talked a lot about it being a super TDM heavy metal, swing or be swung, but there are limits to it. You don't want to be over aggressive. You don't need to spawn peek every round or run at every enemy you see, swinging every angle and running out at every chance you get. Because just we had it in point 1 is there is a certain timing to be aggro and there's a certain timing to be passive. Because if you get too horny, you're giving the enemies 1v1s, which is a coin flip chance if you're winning the gunfight or you're losing the gunfight. If you win the gunfight, yes, you're gonna be the hero, but if you lose the gunfight, you're gonna be the troll that trolled the round. So especially in 2v1 or 3v1 situations, you don't want to be giving those 1v1s out to the enemies, because simply that is how rounds are clutched or thrown from your own team. As we said, you don't want to be overly aggressive if you have your man advantage. So don't get too horny for kills. Number 8 is to know your strength. For example, there's people who have really good aim, and they're really good at getting that first pick, but are not as great at getting the second or the third kill. But there's also players who don't have good aim, whose strengths are playing that support operator, droning in and giving callouts. Like I myself, I am really good at getting that initial entry kill, getting that first 1 or 2 frags, but I have weaker points when it comes to the mid game. I'm also pretty good when it comes to clutch situations, because I'm quite a calm player. So let's say you're the player who doesn't have the best aim, but is a good support player, and your friend is a good aimer who is good at getting that first initial pick. You let him go first, get that 1 or 2 kills, you're gonna drone him in, and if he dies, you're simply gonna refrag him, and then you're way more likely to win the round because both of you played into your own strength. Another example is if you're really good with Maestro, and Maestro is not a meta operator currently, just play him. It doesn't matter if he's in the meta or not, because if you are good with him and you get your kills and you win those rounds by zapping the enemy 1 billion times with the Maestro cams, you're gonna be the player who won the round at the end. Because especially right now in that TDM meta, the operator that you select does not matter that much. We're not in year 1 anymore where, for example, a bandit or a Jäger just won you the round because the operators are so strong. Number 9, and the second last point, is you take solo queue too serious. You are alone, you're not with someone. You need to realize that you and 4 other strangers are simply not gonna be as good as you and a full team. So if you lose a round, just be like, oh yeah, it's whatever, we move on. Don't lose your mind over things you just simply cannot change, because there's gonna be certain individuals who are just not gonna talk to you, or who are just not gonna drone you in, or not gonna get kills for some rounds. That's just simply how it is. So don't lose your mind over solo queue. If you really want to take it that serious, get yourself a duo mate or a full team and queue with them. Number 10, the last point, is you are not playing off your teammates correctly, or not even playing off them at all. It's not a rumor that you're gonna win more games if you start duo queuing, triple stacking, or full stacking in ranked. If you have a team, it is statistically proven that you're more likely to win a game. But if you don't play off your teammates correctly, you might as well just solo queue. Because if you don't play off your teammates with giving each other calls or playing for strats or droning each other in, why even bother duo queuing then? So you need to be droning each other in, you need to play strats with each other, and you need to talk to each other. Because you need to realize that you and your duo mate have the advantage of talking to each other, which for example the enemy team just won't have if there are 5 solo queues. So use that fact, play Termite and Thatcher, Ace and Thatcher, or play for example Oza and Iana. Drone each other in, bait each other, play off of each other. Those were already my 10 mistakes that you are doing that you need to fix to rank up in Rainbow Six. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and leave a like. It would help me out massively. Until the next video, bye.